How you scared of your children? What kind of parent is scared of their children? Not a good one. See, and Melissa want to have kids with me. This is what's gonna happen. We have a kid. She can be like, I don't know what to do. It's crying. I'm gonna be like, Melissa,
blew off my hand. So at the end of the day, I would be on my bike working, making money. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna use my last what they call shuckles, what they call little chains. I believe it's called shickles, some shit like that. I'm gonna use.
Welcome to the Bamboo Project Podcast, where you can see how we turn our life into a living. I want to shout out to the Bamboo family. My name is Donovan Gray, and you can find this podcast on YouTube if you're listening to it, and if you're watching it, you can find it on Spotify, you can find it on Apple Music, you can find this podcast on all of the major streaming platforms. Just know that we're on all major streaming platforms. Our social media is Twitter and Instagram for me, Donovan Gray, DONIVANGRAY. For my beautiful girlfriend, it is Anita Byrne, ANETABURN. If you're new to the family, I'm gonna let you know something. We have multiple different Instagrams. Why? Because we have multiple different projects. You're probably like, what do you mean by multiple projects? Okay, well, let me tell you. I'll give you a little rundown of what we got. We got the Bamboo Project Fitness. We got music. We got clothes. We got sports. We got food. And we got the podcast. Okay, we got 6. I named all of them. I'm on fire today right now. Okay, so you can go on Instagram and find that, because at the end of the day, what we want to do is we want to turn our life into a living. What that means is we want to get paid to do the things that we already do every single day. I'm having my consultation, so you can DM me for a consultation on my Instagram. You can DM me on there or write me on Twitter. So we have a little different lineup today. The segments are going to be somewhat different, only because my life has been kind of hectic, and I kind of just, for the last couple of days, maybe a week or two, I kind of been out of it in terms of like fed up in a sense, but I feel calm, but I still be fed up, if that makes sense. Excuse me. Today is what is today's date? Today is September 8th, Tuesday. It's Tuesday, September 8th, it's 5:20. So normally we have different segments. Normally we have a segment they're called Donovan's Questions, which is where I would go and ask a question. I don't give any type of runway for me to give you or change what you think about it. And I can give you a question I think about for the last week, and I propose it to you guys, right? Then on top of that, we have usually we will have episode playback when I go back, and I will then explain something or reaffirm or elaborate on something that I talked about in last week's episode that I want to clear for this week's episode. And then we have whatever the agenda is for that day, and we also have the last thing, which would be life updates. Not necessarily in that order, but that's the last thing on the list I'm giving you right now. So this week is mostly going to be about the life update. Also, our podcasts are usually very long. Today's I don't plan to have it very long, but for the future reference, and maybe for this one too, depending on how I decide to edit it, in the description will be all the timestamps for the podcast, because sometimes they can run 3 hours, sometimes they can run 2 hours, and it can be long. And I know some people don't want to look and go, damn, I gotta find where that fire part was of the clip that I saw on social media, but I don't know where it is. Well, I got you. I put the timestamps in the description below. So I wanted to start off with I'm gonna do Donovan's questions. Do you have any Donovan's questions on there? Does anything up on there? So Donovan's questions. Okay, if you guys don't know, this is it's something called a Neuralink. I don't know if I asked this before, but I'm gonna ask it for today's Donovan's questions. Would you get the Neuralink? That's it. I'm asking, would you get the Neuralink? If you don't know what it is, go and look it up, and then answer if you would get it or not. You can either write in the comments if you would get it. You can tell me personally, or you can just keep it to yourself, but think about it. So I believe, what about this? Another question. What do you think about vaccines that have technology in them that update the same way that your computer does? So when you get the vaccine, going forward, whenever there's a new virus out, they just update it for you. It's like a software update. Would you get that if they had that? Okay, that's another question. I was thinking about this too. Are black words censored the same as white words? Now, what I mean by that is, like,
Um, it was a word I saw recently that a black people like okay, like we might say pussy, like wet ass pussy, right? Now I don't know if other people use that word, so I'm curious if the television, if they ban those words, depending on like what is their basis off to ban those certain words, because another group of people might call pussy a snatch. Is that banned on TV or online? If I say, damn, she had a really tight snatch, is that, can I say that? And this is my last question. And this is based off of how I've been feeling lately. I might actually explain this one later. The question is, what is worse, hell or purgatory? Purgatory is when you're in limbo. So which one is worse, being in hell or being in limbo? So I'm going to give today's update. Well, I'm going to give my life update for the last week, what I have planned, what I want to do going forward. So Melissa, can you scroll back to life update? Yeah. Oh, okay. So my bike. I'm gonna start off with the bike because that's the biggest thing. Okay. I'm gonna just go on. I'm gonna just go. Last week I told you guys I almost blew my face off, right? Because one of my friends fixed my bike, and after he fixed it, everything's working fine. And for some strange reason, when I plugged it in after he left, I almost caused a fire and blew off my fingers, right? I have pictures in the last episode 24. You can go and watch that to see exactly what I'm talking about. So, and like I said, I got timestamps. So now if you want to go check that out, you can watch it and then come back to this, because that's what I do. I do that for you guys. Now, he fixed the bike. Everything is working fine. I plugged it in. Fingers almost burned off. Shit was crazy. And we didn't know exactly what was causing that. So after did some troubleshooting, I figured out what the problem was. The actual problem is that somewhere inside the bike, not the bike, the controller for the bike is the brain of the bike. So what that means is, if I want the bike to go a certain speed, if I want it to last a certain amount of time, if I want it to be able to pull faster when I pull a throttle, then I have to use a controller and reprogram that to do those things. So somehow inside the controller, the red wire, which is the positive wire, and the black wire, which is the negative wire, are touching each other, right? Now, I don't know how that's possible, because that's very dangerous. There should be no reason why the negative and the positive should be touching each other. They shouldn't even be close to each other. But somehow, when I test them, both of those things are saying that they are there's a current running between those two connectors, which shouldn't be happening. So that controller is out the window. Now I had texted somebody else who fixes bikes, who I've worked with before, and I was just like, hey, let me see what I texted him specifically, because maybe I'd be asking questions wrong, and it's probably me. It has to be my fault, because obviously I don't know how to ask people questions, and it then causes them to do stuff that then irritates me going forward. I said wait, hold on. So I had called him. He didn't answer. He said, "What's up? Missed your call." I think he called me the next day or texted me the next day, which is fine. Was like, whatever. I said, the controller I bought somehow has the positives and negative wires touching inside. Can it be fixed, or should I buy a new controller? He said, did you open it? I said, nah. He said, because those two wires are way apart from each other. So the bike, he asked me, so the bike is not working. I'm like, when I use my voltmeter to check to see if it's connected, it is. Huh? Oh. Oh, look at you, baby, sleeping in the little bed. So. Oh, now you'll be able to, don't come look at her. Don't come look, because when she wanted to pet you, and you was, yes, with her mouth.
She wanted to pet me. I'm sorry for not letting my cat pet me.
Yes, that's a problem. Listen, Melissa is not a very good pet mom. Okay, a very good cat mom. Terrible. How you scared of your children? What kind of parent is scared of their children? Not a good one.
This is my first cat, and it's grown.
See, and Melissa want to have kids with me. This is what's gonna happen. We have a kid. She can be like, I don't know what to do. It's crying. I'm gonna be like, Melissa, this is your child. You're supposed to figure this out. Yeah, right. I don't believe that for 1 second. Not for 1 second. The kid throw up on you. The kid smack you in the face. What you gonna do? You expect the kid back? You gonna smack him back? You gonna drop him on the floor?
You making it seem like that's what I do to kitty.
You dropped him on the floor. That's what you would do. You would drop the baby on the floor. You probably throw it on the bed and go in the other room.
Oh my
That's what you would do. Because I listen. You and kids, I don't even know now. I don't know if you can have kids because I can't. You can't. You with a cat is not even good. So I don't know how you gonna be with a child.
Humans than I am with animals.
How is that possible?
What do you mean? How is that possible?
It's a child. They're the same
They're
thing.
not the same.
What's the difference? What's the difference?
It has a tail.
What that mean? Some people have tails. So at the end of the day, what you need to understand is they are the same thing. When you pick them up, they're the same. When you pet them, they're the same. You talk to them, they're the same. She's equivalent to like maybe a 13-month-old child.
This is not
14-month-old child. It is what we're talking about. Talking about the life update. It is love. It's this part of it because at the end of the day, I need you to understand that this is not acceptable. This is unacceptable. That you are afraid of your own child.
I try my best.
You keep saying you try. Your best is not good enough. Okay. Well, then you gotta try harder because clearly whatever you're doing, and you're saying is your best is not good enough.
Fair.
What's
Just
not fair?
because I'm not fucking.
You don't have to be who? Who are you? You said Caillou? What does Caillou got to do with? Did you say you're not? Because you're not Caillou? Who's Caillou?
Just because I'm not running around with Kitty attached to my hip does not mean I'm not a good cat mom.
It does. It does mean exactly that. It means that because.
What you be doing?
Huh?
What you be doing
With what?
with Kitty? That makes you such a great cat dad.
I'm not afraid of my cat, of my child. That's why.
That's not enough.
It's way more than you can say about you. Okay.
No, it's not.
It is.
I be feeding her.
Yeah, so do I.
I be giving her water.
So do I.
I be changing her.
So do I.
Okay then.
But you're afraid of her when you do these things. I'm not afraid of her. If she walked over to you when you feeding her, you might stop feeding her. You might be like, damn, you don't want no more food? Okay. I'm gonna stop. I mean, that's not good parenting for cats. Okay. So I don't know how you're gonna deal with a child. Ridiculous. You gotta go on birth control. I can't have no kids because
Aren't you talking about your bike?
I'm about to finish. That was last week's episode 24. So, anyways, ridiculous. The cat don't even got no nails. He's afraid he's gonna bite. He's gonna scratch her. Make that make sense. So I was reading a text messages before Melissa interrupted me. So, hold on. I'm gonna cut this out. Okay, I think I'm done. So I was reading the text messages. I'm gonna finish reading those text messages. So I said when I use my voltmeter to check, it's not working. I plugged in my battery and it shorted. And then I said respond. I said no, the bike is not working. I sent some pictures. He like bring the controller. I said bring it where? So my bike isn't working, so I haven't been in the city. He said I'm working. Bring it to the city. I will diagnose it when I get off work. I said what time are you getting off and what tools do you need? He said I get off at 9 p.m. That was at 3:22. I said I'm gonna be at 34th Street. He said okay. I said are you gonna open it? He said I'll take it home, open it when I get off. So 8:44, I text him. I said I'm leaving my house. Right, I'm dressed. I'm walking out of my house. I'm going down the hallway. I have all my clothes. I have whatever I need in my bag. I'm about to get on the train to go to the city. At 8:44, I forgot to get there by 9:30. I should get there before 9:30 because it takes 20 minutes to get to the city by train from my house. 25 minutes. So I'm literally standing like in front of the elevator, and I get a text saying, "I already left the city. I'll stop by and check it out tomorrow." So I said, "Copy." Then he said, when was the last time you rode your bike? I said 2 to 3 weeks ago. So he said, I'm pretty sure the controller is good. Just got to change the wire and connectors. He said, so I sent him a picture. Was this Wednesday that we had this conversation? Yeah, on Thursday at 12:14 of the fact that the multimeter is showing that there is a connection somewhere between the red and the black wire, the positive and the negative wire. So he texted me back and said, you got 10 gauge wires? I'm like, nah, I don't have that. He said, okay. So that was Thursday at 3:51, the day that he said he's going to come over, right? So then Friday, he said, so I got some wires now and connectors. I'll put them tomorrow morning. This is Friday. So I said, copy on Friday at nighttime. On Sunday, I said, what time are you coming? Mind you, he said, I'm coming over tomorrow on Friday, which means he would have came Saturday. I texted him on Sunday, what time are you coming? At 9:23 a.m. No response until today, where he told me to purchase some new 10 gauge wires and some other connectors. Nothing's wrong with the controller. So I'm like, I'm gonna say I already have that. I'm gonna say I already did. So I'm gonna see your response with that, because this is what I realized when it comes to doing business with people, right? one thing I've learned, which I sometimes struggle with, is removing your emotions from these type of situations, because I need a job done right now. This is not the first time this has happened in the past with this person, right? This happens regularly. Funny enough, I was in the bed with Melissa. We were on my phone looking at old pictures I had, and it was a video came up of me talking about this person from years ago, same, more or less same problems. And I just think it's funny that the person keeps doing the same thing. But because I would need a job done, I'm like, I'd rather put my emotion to the side if the job can get done, because at the end of the day, I have a goal and a mission to get back to work. And if this person who is unprofessional can get it done, then it is what it is. But I have learned that you do not rely on these unreliable people, hence the word unreliable. They're there as an option to use, but you don't rely on them. So I had said to him, like, hey, if you want to come over, sure. I'm not going to wait for you to come over because I already know how you are. However, it annoys me because when somebody says they're going to come over, or when somebody says they're going to do a job for you and then they don't do it, it's frustrating. Especially when they offer to do the job and then don't give you an explanation as to why they don't come over, and just do a lot of unprofessional, things. It's very annoying. But, and I said this before when I first started the podcast, you have to know how to do things yourself. You have to, because if you don't know how to do things yourself, you're going to run into this problem very often. Now, the thing that's wrong with the controller, I can fix for the most part. Actually, that's not true. I bought a new controller, but in terms of, or as far as changing, what are you doing? Oh, as far as changing the connectors and things like that, I can do that myself. So I learned to do it myself before because of the same scenario. So now I know how to do it. So I don't have to rely on him to do that. But it's better to have somebody do it who has experience, because, for example, I talked about this in the last episode. I tried changing my connectors before, my battery, and I cut the black and red wire together. I cut them at the same time, and when I did that, connected them through the scissors. Sparks, shorted, whatever. You don't want to do that. Now, somebody who does it often would have knew that already. Now, I know that now, but I would not have known that if I didn't do it myself. But I could have avoided that from happening if somebody else who was fluent or who was familiar with that would have done it. So that was my problem with that. This is why I always say, learn to do things yourself, especially no matter what it is. If once you run into a situation where you ask somebody to do something for you and then they do something along the lines of being unreliable or they start acting funny, that is the time that you learn that you need to tell yourself, I need to learn to do this by myself, because this can happen again, especially if it's something that you have to do with, or not. If it's something that you have to do regularly or something that comes up often, learn to do it yourself. Maybe it's taxes. Maybe it's what's something that people might learn how to do themselves. Maybe for me, it used to be fixing my phone screen. I went out and I got the little pieces to fix the phone screen, and I learned how to do that. But it's not something that I would want to do. If I had to do it, I would do those things. But I think it's good to know how to do it, because on a situation where nobody else can help me do it, I can do it myself. Or like now, if it's an emergency, I can do it myself. Same thing with fixing a tire for me. Or if you drive a car, learn how to fix your tire, learn how to change your oil. Just things that you may need to know how to do if people that you often use fuck up. So that's where that was at, right? So going forward with that, so I bought a new controller, another $300 and something, right? Now, I have said this before to people on the podcast. I've said this multiple times. I don't know if it's a me thing. It could be a me thing. It could be everybody thing. I don't know. But there are times when I have these ups and these downs. Normally around this time, I'm usually down. I've noticed that for the last couple of years. That's just what happens, right? Random shit like this just happens. Everything just goes wrong, which is so weird to me. Everything goes wrong, right? So what I've noticed is that whenever things go wrong around this time of the year, I lose all of my money right before I get back up. Like, that's some weird phenomenon that I can't really explain, where so I had a couple $1,000s in my account, 4,000 and some change maybe. Actually I had more, but in that specific account I had $4,000. I had some other money in my regular account. And over this time period for the last 2 months and some change, I've been having to spend money to get my bike fixed. Then I get it fixed and something goes wrong and it breaks. I have to still pay for bills. I still have to pay for food. I still have to pay for things like that. So I've noticed that what will happen around this time is it will deplete all of my money that I have, which is so weird, almost down to the cent or the dollar. It's like, damn, I have all this money saved up, and then boom, I get hit with something, and it's like, oh, you have $5,000 saved up. Well, this is gonna cost you $4,998, and you're like, what the how of all, like, really? So that's pretty much what's happening now. I'm right now, I'm down to my last probably $200 and something dollars, something like that, to spend. I have money in stocks that if I have to, I don't even see how I can go into that, but we don't know. I don't know how this works. Like I said, I know when money comes out of my account, this is usually what happens. So my controller is supposed to come in this week. I bought it last week. It should come in this week. I should be able to work this week when the controller comes in. I think it's supposed to come in on Thursday, but funny enough, I need to check it today, because what I saw this morning when I checked it is that it was I want to read the word I want to read the sentence that I saw specifically, not specifically. My mom used to get on my ass about saying that word right, so I'll make sure I say specifically. So I bought this controller from China from a website called AliExpress.com, and let me see. Oh, the update of my order. Shipment status updated. Okay, let's see. Where is it saying now? Delivery information. Okay. This is good. This is good because it says shipment exception, delay beyond our control. I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? So I'm sitting there, and you can hear me sniffling. I found out I'm allergic to cats. So I had no idea. I don't know. I think I'm allergic to cats. I'm not sure. I might be. Excuse me.
You are.
Melissa believes I'm allergic to cats. However, I don't think it's that. What I think is going on is that it's so much fur that I can't breathe. I just think it's like if there was dust. I think it's just that. It's so much. And I didn't know how much it was until I lived in a studio apartment with a cat. Like and on top of the fact that I live with the cat, I wasn't grooming her the way she should be groomed. So, and she's on fur. She's on fur. She's on the couch with her fur. She's on the bed with her fur. She's walking around the house, jumping around. Her fur's everywhere. So I think it got to a point, 'cause when she first got here, it wasn't as bad. And I couldn't tell how bad it was because, oddly enough, I had just trimmed my nose hairs, like, for the first time. And I cut them super short. And I was fucked up. I talked about it on the podcast, too. I was fucked up for a couple of days. Like, damn, this shit feels weird as hell. And then, ever since then, it just got worse. But it seems that I got the cat like right after that, so it kind of blended in together. So I'm thinking maybe if my nose hair grows back, I won't be as fucked up, but I don't know. And then after that happened, I have the cat in the house walking around, putting fur all over everything, and I'm like, okay. Oh, excuse me. I'm like, it's got to a point where there's more fur than I had planned for. So now I have to kind of put in twice the work to remove the fur that's already here. And this goes for anybody that does things like this, because I talk to Melissa about this all the time when it comes to cleaning stuff and putting things off and procrastinating. Now, the difference with this is, it kind of is, it's not really the same, but it kind of is the same. I was not grooming the cat. And not out of procrastination, but out of, that's not what I do. I don't normally groom her, so I wasn't something I was thinking about doing. But because I did not do that, so I have to now put in the work now to take up for what I did before, or to cover the lack of work prior to now. So if she's been here for a month, I'm already a month behind. I have to do a month worth of cleaning the house and cleaning her, to then hopefully in a month from now get to a point where I can breathe in the house. I'm gonna have to buy some big ass filters. We have a filter in the house now, which I think needs to be stronger. I guess I was telling Melissa this. If my filter don't suck in my shirt when I walk by it, I should feel the gravitational pull of my filter when I walk around it, because I see the fur in the air and I feel like the fur kind of be like calling the filter pussy, because it will go around it but it won't go inside of the filter, and I see it and I'm like, the filter is supposed to suck you in, and it's just not doing that. So like I said, I want me one of them like industrial size filters that you walk by and you could like see your shirt kind of flapping like in the wind. I need something like that. Or like I want to be fighting with the comforter at night with the filter. Like I want that. That's the kind of filter I need for the house to get all this fur out of the air, because this is ridiculous. So where was I? I think I'll talk about the bike and the money situation. So like I said, $300 pretty much gone for that. Down to about $200 because my cat is limping, right? So we didn't know why she was limping. It happened about maybe 2 weeks ago or so. She started limping very gingerly. It wasn't like a lie. We like, oh, maybe she stepped on something. Maybe she has sand or kitty litter on her paw. She just, kind of doing a little limp. And then it progressively got worse. And we kind of just like, okay, what's going on? It's like, she's been very active, which I'm not used to. She's doing backflips off of stuff and running around, jumping off of tables and jumping off of the AC and just jumping off everything, off the couch. So I'm like, okay, this is abnormal from what I've seen, but she's a cat. This is what they like to do. So I noticed she started limping more, and I'm like, that's an odd limp that she has there. So I started thinking, all right, it's whatever. It's getting worse and worse. I'm like, okay, it's starting to get to a point where I don't think it's gonna get better. Like it's just getting a lot worse. Which now she can't even really put weight on it. She does not want to put weight on it. So I'm like, okay, I probably should take her to the vet. Like I think she needs to go to the vet to get it checked out, because I don't know if she injured it somehow. Maybe she has cancer. Maybe she has arthritis. Maybe she has some type of injury where she maybe sprained it or dislocated it or something like that, right? So took her to the vet today, which is one reason why the podcast is starting at 5 something. That's one reason. But we got there, and they told me before I even got there that it was going to be about $200. They said it's going to be $180 for the X-ray, and no, $110 for the X-ray and $80 for the checkup or consultation, whatever you want to call it, right? So I'm like, all right, $200. I have about $500 left in my account. I'm like, I could manage that, especially my controls coming in this week. I can get back to work, make that money back, right? That's what I'm thinking. So I get there, I drop her off, and as every place does, which it annoys me to high hell, right? It's like nobody is looking out for you. Everybody is trying to sell you on something. Everybody's trying to get you to buy something that you don't need. That's not going to help you. So I get there. Same just like when you go to the bike shop, when you go to the car dealership, when you go to get your car worked on. It's always, yeah, you know what you really need though? I feel like you should even go to the doctor. When you go anywhere, it's like, and I could understand if you want to upsell me at Starbucks, if you want to upsell me at McDonald's, some shit. Hey, do you want the extra fries? Do you want to get this drink with that? Hey, what about that? I can understand that, right? But if it's about health, you should not be trying to upsell me on health. You shouldn't be like, well, I know you're fine, but do you want to take these pills for your stomach? And you're like, why do I need them? Well, they would actually help you with your diet. And you're like, but my diet's fine, right? Yeah, it's fine, but it could be better if you take these pills. And you like, I mean, you're a doctor, so I guess you must know what you're talking about. This is not true. Most doctors don't know what they're talking about. And honestly, most doctors, while you're even there in the chair, they will go and look up questions for whatever it is that you need to get done. They're going to be like, so what's wrong with you? Your foot hurts? Like the backside of your foot? The heel, right? Okay, they go, oh, heel pain. Oh, yeah, you might have a heel spur, right? And you looking at them like, I could see you. Like, I could see you on Google. What do you mean? Like, if you're the doctor, you shouldn't be Googling these things. Doctors, they went to school years ago. No person I can't think of one profession that a person uses things that they learned in school still today that they don't have to go back and look up. Nobody uses these things regularly. And I feel like my nose is just getting more clogged as I talk more and more and more and more. It's just like, it's crazy. Like I said, it's just so much fucking fur. Oh my, I could see it in the air in front of my face. It's crazy. It's crazy. Like I said, I saw a nice filter. It cost $500. It goes on the wall. But I want a big. The filter needs to say built for like a 300 square foot, or no, not 300. 12,000 square foot room. That's what we need a filter for. Like that's what I want. Something like that. So, oh shit, fuck. I can't even breathe properly. I'm gonna start doing the podcast on the roof. So that cost me $200 for that. for the consultation and whatnot, right? At first. Then he started telling me, oh, so your cat might have arthritis. It seemed like she has arthritis in her elbow because she's an older cat, and he said she's overweight by about 2 pounds. She's 14 pounds. She's a Russian blue, and she needs to be about 12 pounds and down. For anybody that has cats, I was told that free feeding is not the best thing to do. Free feeding is when you just let the cat go and eat whenever they feel like it. That's how they kind of get overweight, which I'm not surprised that she does or is, because since I've had her, we've never kind of timed her eating or scheduled her eating. We just were like, oh, here's food. Whenever you're hungry, there it is. Go freely eat your food. So that is problematic. So now I'm going to try and stay away from doing that. Oh my God, the fact that I can hear my voice sounds like this. I mean, I probably found like my voice probably sounds mad deep because I have a nasal thingy. I don't know. Does it sound nasally or does it sound deep? What do you think, Melissa? Does it sound nasally or deep? It should sound deep, right? Yeah, it does. Okay, so so they're like, okay, she needs to get she needs to lose weight. They said she also needs to, what else other things she should do? Lose weight, stay off the paw probably, and take medication. So they gave me 3 different medications, right? The bill, first of all, before we get to the fucking medication, it's supposed to be a 20-minute visit for the doctor. The guy was like, oh, okay, it's going to be 20 minutes and, whatever. So I'm waiting outside. We go to the store. The guy calls me and he's like, okay, so what we're going to do is with the cat, we're going to do this. We're going to give her an x-ray, right? And then we're going to give her a second x-ray to make sure we saw on the first x-ray is actually right. Because we don't want to mess up. Now, I'm thinking already, like, you a doctor. There's no reason why. Like, you doing 2 x-rays. If you can't look at the first x-ray and see what the fuck is going on, hire somebody else to do this. Because I feel like you should be able to look at it and go, that's a broken leg. That looks like she sprained it. That looks like it could be arthritis. How many x-rays do you need for that? I don't feel like you need that many x-rays for that. So then he said, we're going to do the x-ray and then we're going to do a second x-ray. Then he said, we're going to take a sample of something we saw on her foot. So we're going to have to take a pin, put that in her, or a needle, put that in her, take something out, and then take it to a lab, get it checked out. So we got 1 x-ray, 2 x-rays. We're going to sample her, whatever. And then it was all this shit too. Remember the other one, Melissa? Your daughter misses you. Do you see her? You see your daughter? You gonna push her away? What you gonna do? You gonna tell her to move away from you? See? She misses. See? She wants you to pet her because you're her mother. She misses her mother. That's what she's telling you right now. It's like, Mom, hi Mom, how you doing? Either way, it was 2 x-rays, a needle, and a medication. I know that for sure. And I think it's one other thing too. So I'm already on the phone like, bruh, I feel like my nose is just getting, stop scratching. You're making me can't breathe no more. Why is it so much worse right now? There's probably hair on this shit. That's what it is. That's probably the problem. And talking about this shirt too. There's hair on my shirt. I can see the hair on my shirt. Melissa, I'm dying. I'm gonna die. Melissa, I'm dying. Melissa.
You got a liberal addiction.
Bruh.
You just gotta eat it though.
Oh my God.
This is your life now.
Oh my God. See, this. I needed this. You know why I needed this? I needed some motivation to get another apartment with a room and a bigger apartment. I could put. I'm about to call her Hadassah. I could put what's her name, Kitty, in the other rooms. I was gonna call her Melissa first. I'm like, nah, it's not that. I'm like, Hadassah. I'm like, nah, it's definitely her kitty. It's definitely a kitty. So there's that. Oh my God, what the fuck, bruh? This went everywhere. If anybody has a solution for this, I feel like I took her to the vet. I wasted my money. That's the other thing, not the vet. I took her to the freaking grooming place. Was that last week or the week before?
It was probably maybe like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
2 or 3 weeks ago.
You don't think so?
Nah, I feel like it wasn't. I feel like it was, cause I don't think so. Either way, whenever it was, they robbed me my money too. They fucking, I don't know what they did. They brushed her 4 times and they were like, all right, here you go. They clipped her nails. They gave her back to us for $200 or $130, some shit like that. So, like I said, money just been coming out flying out my pockets everywhere I go. Money's flying away, and I don't have money flying in. So this is a problem. So they're upselling me at the vet, and I'm like, yeah, I don't need all that other X-ray. I don't need Medicaid. I don't need none of that. Just tell me what's wrong with the cat. Like, just do 1 X-ray. Is it broken? Is it fractured? Is it arthritis? What is going on with the cat? So he's like, okay, we could just do 1 X-ray and then and then that's it. I'm like, yes, thank you. So when I come back, he's like, all right, so we found out that it's arthritis in her elbow. And we got you some medication for that. And I'm like, all right, which medication for what? So come to find out, they gave us 2 pain medications or 1.
2 pain medications and 1 fish oil.
2 pain medications, 1 fish oil for inflammation in her elbow. Now, because I'm a food connoisseur, you know, we over have the Bamboo Food Project, which is supposed to be food that is reducing inflammation in your body, because we already know, guys, if you're from the Bamboo family, you know that food that causes inflammation causes problems. Inflammation is bad. You can go back and look at our old episodes that are called Decoding Alkaline Food, where we talk about inflammation and why it's bad for you. We don't want that. So with my cat, I apply the same logic. I'm like, okay, she needs something that's going to reduce inflammation. I don't want to give her medication that's going to reduce inflammation. I would prefer it to be from her food. So I took the omega-3s, but I did not know what the other medication was for. When we got it, of course, it upsold me and gave me pain medication for her. She says one of them is pretty much a sedative, where it's going to just make her be on drugs. You know how that goes. Everybody goes to the hospital, they want to put you on drugs. So there's that. So we got that, and now the final bill came up to $272. What was the other one? Oh, the one that might kill a cat?
Yes.
But this is called Medicat or Medicam. What is it called? Medicam, right? Melissa was like, what the fuck is this? Cause like, I don't know what any of these stuff is, right? So she Googles it, and the first suggestion Google says is Medicam kill my cat, right? It's the first suggestion. Now, to me, when I read that, I'm like, huh. Because Google don't really suggest things that other people don't put in the search. That's not that they, like, you wouldn't like put Medicam and they bring up like Ninja Turtles or some shit. Like unless something is happening in the world where there's a connection between Medicam and Ninja Turtles, then you'll see that. But if Medicam is a first suggestion, that means a lot of people are probably saying that Medicam killed my cat. So I'm like, I don't really know. Mind you, the reason that we looked this up in the first place, because I'm reading a label. The label strictly says on the label for dogs only, and this guy gave it to me for my cat. And I'm like, fam, I don't really think that this is what you should be doing. Another thing I find is weird too. On the fucking receipt, he did charge me $0 for weight loss information. What the fuck is that? I was asking, like, hey, I have a cat, like, how do I get her to lose weight? He put that on the bill for information, weight loss information. Who charges you $0, by the way, for weight loss information? Don't even put that on there. If I ask you a question, you just answer the question. You don't put it on there. This is why I already know shit's going weird. It had a whole little code number next to it. When you see when there's a code attached to something, somebody's getting paid for it. Even though he didn't charge us, he charged somebody for that shit, and it's coming back to somebody's paying that. It somehow probably end up being me somehow. I don't know how, but it's probably me through my taxes, through some shit. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure if the government got to pay for it, if insurance got to pay for it, inflation gonna go up, interest go, I got to pay for that. So don't put $0. Don't charge nobody for that. That's stupid. So there's that. So it came to be $272. Now, like I said, money is flying out my pocket everywhere I go. Melissa said she would cover the medication, which is about $80. So I end up paying the $190 I was gonna pay originally, right? Now that's that. We're going back to more money I'm about to be spending soon. My nephew's birthday's coming up, so I gotta think about this. I'm like, okay, birthday's coming up. I probably gotta pay for food. It's gonna be more money coming out of my pocket, and hopefully my controller's here by then. Now, I always try to take everything into account. I'm like, something could go wrong with the controller. Who knows? Anything is possible in my life. I don't even know what could possibly happen. I just know that things are not going, like, things be going one way and then it go down a different way and not the way that I planned it. Excuse me. And then new things that I didn't even know could happen start happening. Shit like that. So I just try to roll with the punches. I'm eating them. I'm eating them right now. But listen, if I don't throw a punch, I keep taking punches, I'm gonna get knocked out. It's just how it is. Your body is not built for that. And if you spend money, they don't make money. No matter how much money you have, you will lose the money that you have. It's a matter of time at that point. So even Jeff Bezos, if he didn't spend no money today, would be broke in thousands of years from now. Actually, not even thousands. Depends how much he spends every day. If he spent $1 billion every day, he would be broke in 200 days. Yeah. So he'd be broke in less than a year. So everybody could be broke if you don't make money. And that's the problem I have right now, since the money coming in. So we're going back to the bike situation. So like I said, the controller is supposed to come in this week. I got that message that it wasn't going through customs and whatnot, but I just saw that right now that it made it through. So it should be here between the 8th and the 11th. So I'm happy about that. Back to more money talk. We apply for loans that I told you guys about before. We're still going. I'm going to buy real estate. Okay, I told you guys this before. I'm going to buy it. I have 3 different dates, right? I got 3 different time frames for this. The best time frame, the 100%, like if everything goes exactly how it should go, with a little bit of luck, by the end of this year, I would have purchased a property by the end of this year, right? I would have either purchased it or been in the process of purchasing it. That's that first. The second one, which is more realistic, would be when our lease is up, which would be February 28th, pretty much March 1st. That would be when I'm buying the property, like again in the process or already bought. Now, 100%, and there's unless catastrophe happens and the aliens come, I should have a property by my birthday, April 29th. I should 100% have bought a property by my birthday. We have decided on this method, okay? So what we're going to do is people who want to buy a property, who don't know how to do it and think they can't do it because they don't have any money, this is what we're going to do. We are going to use something called a hard money lender, right? They lend you money. Your credit score does not need to be very high. You have to have a percentage of the down payment, and your paperwork does not have to be as great because they are not a bank. So we're going to use that. Then after we do that, we're going to take that money and we're going to buy a property. We're not going to try and get rental income from the first property. We're going to try and flip that first property. Right now, the goal is to make a $50,000 profit. If I can make $50,000, which I was told by the people in this program I can do within 4 to 6 months, I will take that money, pay off whatever debt I have, and then with the money I have after that, I will go and buy a new property. Okay, and that property will be from my income, and then I'm gonna do that over and over and over again until I have a property that or have properties that pay me enough I don't have to go to work. Like I said, that is the end goal right now. The step one to becoming a billionaire is freeing up my time so I don't have to actually work for anybody. I need to be able to work just for me and be creative and just build things. That's what I want to do. I need time to do it. So that's the goal right now. But we applied for some loans. I got rejected the first time, I think for some clerical error type stuff on my end. So I fucked that up, which I could have gotten it. I really fucked it up. I'm kind of annoyed by it, but life goes on. We applied again. Melissa got rejected because, what was the reason, Melissa?
They felt like I did not lose income because of
Okay, so they felt like Melissa didn't lose any money because of what happened with the pandemic. So then with me, I tried to apply under an independent contractor for that clerical error that I felt like I messed up the first time. And they were like, stop. We saw this number before. We saw you. Get out of here. We're not giving you no money. Beat it. So they told me no for my other application. So then I applied as a business. I have 2 businesses that are incorporated. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna use those. Now I'm still waiting to hear back from them about that, because Melissa got rejected already. I got rejected already, and I haven't heard back from them yet. So maybe that means that it's going well and it's going down the process. And I think the main reason why I got rejected from the last one too, they wanted to see my online presence from my company, but I'm like, I didn't know they would need that because I'm an independent contractor. So I didn't send them the website that I had because I didn't think that it was necessary. It obviously was. So they were like, no, because you don't have an online presence. Let me check my email right now because I'm curious if they emailed me. What did she do? She watching TV. I'm gonna email myself right now because I feel like I should have gotten an email within the last year and I haven't gotten one. What? It says you can't send or receive emails because you're out of storage space. What? What are y'all saying? Y'all not dead ass. You're not dead ass. Bruh. See, this is the kind of shit I'm talking about. What are y'all saying right now? See, this is the kind of shit I'm talking about. Now I'm gonna find out that they emailed me and I didn't get to see it because of this bullshit. Well, this is odd. So I applied for a loan. Where's the mail? No, right. I applied for a loan, and it seems that the email that would be used for that is not receiving or sending out emails. I don't know why that's happening. I don't understand it, but that would be very unfortunate if I found out that I could have gotten a loan, but I didn't because the time ran out on the email. That would be very unfortunate. Very, very
Can you log into it and change the email on file?
You can't log in until they send you something to log in with. So let me see.
They don't have like another form of like verification other than the email?
I just got the email from myself, so I'm gonna try and send something back to him. Unfortunate. Well, we don't know. We still have. I think tomorrow will be the better indicator of whether or not it went through, because yesterday was Labor Day, so because of that, they might have delayed it a day, and before that, it was the weekend. So tomorrow will let me know if what's going on with the what's up. Hopefully, I just changed that in time for them to email me, because that would have been unfortunate if they emailed me and that was going on. So what else was I going with my update for the last couple of days? Oh, so I'm losing all my money because thing is happening with my bike. The apartment that the house we're trying to buy, we're gonna use a hard money loan or hard money lender to get it. I have to set up an LLC for that, so you're gonna see that soon. We're gonna have a Bamboo Project Estates LLC that we would use to buy property. So I'm looking forward to that. What else am I looking at? Oh, so I had a family member that got married recently too, which is kind of interesting. They went away to Vegas to get married and didn't tell anybody, so that was very unexpected. I called them on the phone and talked to them about it to see what they said, why they did this thing, because I didn't understand it, and it was so out of the blue to me, but I'm not in that loop, so it's out of the blue to me, but it may have been a thing that they talked about. I don't really think that is what happened, but I'm very curious as to how it got to this. People think they move really fast. I think that they move fast as well. However, I don't think that's a bad thing, because I think if you know somebody, you'll never know somebody till you try living with them and doing things with them and marrying them. Like, you don't really know them. Time is not going to then teach you somebody. So you just have to kind of experience things with them. So I'm not the person to be like, oh no, it's just too soon for y'all to do that. But I do think that there should be reasons as to it. I don't really subscribe to the we just felt it, we just knew it at the first sight of. No, I don't believe that shit. So I guess I'm gonna talk to them and see what's up again. I did call. They gave me some information about why they decided to do it. I guess I'm gonna call again, have a nicer or lengthier conversation about it, just because I just would like to know how this happened as a family member. I'm just curious. So what else? What's going on in my life is, my sister's birthday is coming up, so we're going to that on Thursday. And like I said, I'm hoping to get back to my bike. I'm hoping to get. I don't know if I finished a text message from the guy, so that fixed my bike. So he texted me after I said, I might have said this already, but I don't remember. And if I did say, I'm gonna repeat it now. He had texted me on Friday saying that he got some wires. He's gonna come to my house on Saturday. He didn't come on Saturday. After I texted him, time you coming Saturday morning. He texted me today, today is Tuesday, so 3 days later, to purchase new 10 gauge wires and XT90 connectors. Nothing is wrong with the controller. I'm like, all right, whatever. So I'm like, I already did. So we're gonna see if that happens. Like I said, but when the controller comes in, I just got your text.
Oh, you got it.
You said nah.
Mm-mm. I didn't, but that's what it autocorrected to me.
So that was the only message you sent, or did you send another one other than that?
Only sent one.
Okay. So we shall overcome. We shall.
Feeling oppressed?
Huh?
Are you feeling oppressed?
Yes, I am definitely feeling oppressed by what's going on. Oh yeah, so like I said, what I've been doing lately. Like I said in the last podcast and maybe the one before that, I'm kind of over the stressing thing. Really, I'm like kind of like whatever happens. I clearly have no control over. Like I clearly have zero control over what happens. I can try and persuade things to go my way by doing the best that I can do for myself, but I have no control over the world. Nobody does. They think they do, but they don't. So the things that have happened, I didn't plan for, could have planned for, maybe. Nah, the controller one, no way I could plan for that one. The other ones, I'm like, yeah, I could have did a little bit differently, more. The controller one, nah, no, that shit that almost blew. Here's what you guys understand. If that didn't happen, I would have been working already. Like, my bike is already fixed. Everything is fixed on my bike. The only problem is that. And I went to plug it in and I almost blew off my hand. So at the end of the day, I would be on my bike working, making money. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to use my last, what they call shuckles, what they call little change. I feel like it's called shickles, some shit like that. I'm going to use my last little change to put the money into a controller, and we're going to see. We're going to hope and pray to the gods that I am into the universe, that I'm back on my bike this week and get into the money. And another thing I learned too, I don't know if I said it on the podcast, I know I told Melissa this, where I feel like I don't care about money as much because I've been surviving really without it in a way. Like I've been surviving without the stress of thinking about making more money because I know it's not going to happen. I'm not going to my bike's not going to work. So I'm kind of like, whatever happens, just what it is, it is what it is. I'm hoping I can take that mindset. Bruh, I'm about to get mad emails. It says, let ADP help you. I'm like, fam, I'm about to get so many emails. Because I know they didn't just text me right now. Yeah, let me just shut this off before my phone blows up. Let me just refresh one more time, see what happens. Okay. But yeah, so.
We're an hour in.
Okay. Oh, yeah. So I realized that I don't really care about money as much. I'm kind of like, I want a lot of money, obviously, but I don't feel the pressure to trying to get a lot of money. But that could be because of where I'm at right now. So I don't know when I get back in the race if I'll feel like that. But right now I don't really care, and I hope I take it back into work because I already know I'm not gonna make a lot of money from work because of how everything is set up, and from what I've heard from different people. So I'm like, all right. Whatever, like it is what it is. So I definitely have felt myself slipping though, in a sense, sort of. But again, I don't really care. But I see the fail safes going away. But like I said before, it is what it is. But me and Melissa have been watching Gotham, which is a very good show, and I can't wait to watch this after the podcast is done. I'm excited to watch more of that. Ordered pizza the last 2 nights. Domino's the first night, Papa John's the second night. First night we ordered pizza. We got 2 mediums. I got pepperoni and I got pineapple, and I got cheesy bread and wings. And Melissa got, I don't know what she got. What'd you get?
Wow. You don't know what I got.
I ain't order it, so no, I don't know what you got. I have no idea what you got on your food. Pineapples and ham. Okay. And same thing second day?
Second day I got pineapples and sausage.
Pineapples and sausage. So the second day I got the same thing, pineapples and pineapples and pepperoni. But I got it from Papa John's. This is my go-to. I'm not really a pizza. I'm not really a Domino's person. Their wings are better than Papa John's though. So I fuck with that. Cheesy bread though, Domino's couldn't hold a finger to Papa John's cheesy bread. Like they couldn't hold nothing to that. Like nothing. So that's what that is. But I already know how I know how my body is when it comes to eating that kind of food. So I'm probably gonna be constipated for a couple of days. So I don't think I've taken a shit really since I've eaten that food. Now that I think about it. So, huh? I don't think so. Maybe the Domino's. I might have taken one shit since then. But
That's like 2 days ago.
I take a shit like 2 or 3 times a day.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
So there's that. I haven't been taking the shit. You on your period, so it's like it's kind of like, your stomach is doing this all day. So, but I know for me, nah. So like I said, that's another one of my fail safes. When I started looking to eat food outside of the Bamboo Project food, it just shows me like, okay, things are not going in the best direction, but it's like whatever, because I figure I'm gonna get back to eating at some point. I was eating Papa John's on a regular basis before. It's not gonna kill me to have it a day or 2 or 3 or 7 in a row. I'll be fine. So it's whatever. But I already know. I'm like, I just wanted to relax. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to just be like, you know what? I just want to watch TV. That's it. I don't care about nothing else. I just want to sit down and watch some good TV. And Gotham is a great show to watch. So I'm like, this is cool. I'm gonna enjoy this. Me and Melissa just watch. I feel she's making googly eyes at me. That's what she's doing. She is. She's definitely making googly eyes at me. And I just wanted to sit down. We watched Aquaman. We watched Batman: Dark Knight Rises. We watched another one too, another superhero.
Birds of Prey, but you slept through that.
Oh, we watched. Well, she watched the Birds of Prey. Wasn't there another one after that too? Before it was Batman and Aquaman.
No, Batman, Aquaman, then it was Birds of Prey, then Gotham.
Okay, so yeah, we just been watching TV for the last couple of days. Not really doing we don't really do anything. Just chilling and relaxing, watching TV. So I'm gonna see how if this is a good thing or a bad thing. We won't know until later. But right now, I'm kind of like whatever. I don't really care.
I personally can't.
Oh sure.
Yeah, I personally feel like we've been really wound up for a good while.
Yeah.
So I think it really helps to get it released, especially since this is your first time being quarantine.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing too. I haven't been. Yeah. Oh.
Oh no, go ahead.
Yeah, this is like my first time really being under quarantine because I've been working when there was a quarantine. So now I'm actually just in the house. I don't be showering. That's not really like news. You said what?
You shower.
Yeah, but not like every day or every other day. I showered yesterday, and I showered before that was like Thursday. So yeah, it's like I said, I don't shower as often, but I've heard that's what people do under quarantine. You don't shower, so there's that. And I just been kind of, like I said, I just been kind of relaxed. I just been chilling for the most part. So that's how I am in my present state. If I was thinking about the future of it, I don't know what comes from that. Maybe it's like a revelation that I might have, or maybe I end up homeless. Who knows what comes? Nobody knows. The world will.
It's a well-needed vacation.
Yeah.
Before you have to work your ass off consecutively for months.
Listen, this is what be happening. So Melissa could be right. It might be I've been taking like a little vacation off. I start making money again. Then I buy a property. This is probably how it's going to go, but I don't know. But we'll see. And this is why I love the Bamboo Project podcast, because it's like it has many purposes for the podcast. It's very layered. It's very layered. I like to layer my things. Okay. So one of the purposes of the podcast is so that I can look back on this and be like, yo, that's crazy. Like, look where you was at when you remember that? Like, I can actually now have like an episode to be like, it can pretty much, what's the word? Not dictate. I guess dictate. Not dictate. What is it called when you, huh?
Like, it turns it into memory?
No, when you like write something. It's called dictating, right? When you have a computer annotate something. Not annotate though. When it writes.
Like a scribe?
I feel like it's called dictate. But I don't think that's the word. It's something like that.
I feel like dictate is like a direction.
Yeah, it's called dictation.
It is.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's just something like I said, it holds a memory in place for when in the future. And I just think that it's cool because I have a lot of stuff like this in my phone, but I don't really have anything that is this professional where I have like a mic set up and I have a camera and lights and things like that, and I don't have any of that stuff. It's just me with my phone in the past talking about yo, you gonna get through this, you gonna make it through this. And then every single one of those times I made it through and I'm here now. So it's kind of like that might be another reason why I'm kind of like because I've seen this story a million times. So it just lets you go, okay, you've been through this where you thought the world was gonna end, you thought you were broke and homeless and poor and didn't have nothing to do, you didn't know what's gonna happen next, and then you were fine. And oddly enough, if I had to guess, if I'm thinking about it, there was one time, I don't even know if it got better after that. I don't remember. But there was one time where, I gotta say this. Why are you looking at me? Don't look at me. Why are you looking at me? Don't look. So there was one time I was going through some stuff with my bike, and one of my exes called me, and I went to her house. Can I help? I'm doing a podcast right now. And it was the same situation where I was just like, because we didn't talk for a long time, like a very long time. And I don't know how long it was. Maybe it's a couple months. It was long enough. And she just called me and was like, I feel like it was 3 months. Maybe it was 2 months. She called me out of nowhere on the day that I was fixing my bike and this shit had just stopped working again. I didn't know what was wrong with it. I couldn't go to work. I was losing my money again. Same situation. Battery about to die. Battery's gonna die. So I'm gonna finish the story once the battery is put back in the camera. Okay, so she had called me and something seems off. That's interesting. The lighting changed, but I don't know why. It's brighter. I mean, you don't have to change it. It's fine. It's better this way, but I'm wondering. But it's brighter now than it was 5 minutes ago. So like, I think that
The battery done?
I think that it may. I don't know if it was on autofocus. No, not autofocus. I don't think it was on auto white balance. So now that it's adjusted to this, it's gonna be different on here. So where was I? Yeah. So I remember my bike got fucked up, and then I was sitting in my garage, in my dad's garage, and I'm just like defeated. I'm like, oh my God, again. I'm like, this keeps happening. Like, I don't understand what's going on. And then she had called me, and we were just talking. I know how girls are. When I get the call, she wants me to come over and lay in a bed and cuddle and probably have sex and stuff like that, right? So I'm fully aware of this. But I already know that it's bad and I shouldn't do it. And the reason I say that it's bad and I shouldn't do it is because I'm aware that she's trying to call me to get me to come over to have sex with her, even though we are not talking for whatever reason, or we're in a disagreement, whatever the case is. That was not what I should have been doing, is having sex with her or going over to her house. But it felt good. It would have felt, because I'm like, I need a break. I need to take a step back and just relax. And there are times when I go through these periods where I won't talk to anybody really, but mostly girls. I try to make myself not talk to girls from my past because I always want to move forward. So I'm like, I'd rather have new problems with new girls than old problems with old girls. So I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna hit nobody. When I already know I can hit up certain girls, I hit them up and they'll be like, oh, you want to come over? I already know that it'd be a lot easier to do that. But I'd rather have to push myself to put the work in to talk to a new girl if that's what I want. Like, if you want a girl, Donovan, that you want to hang out with and go to lay in bed with and things like that, then go out and get one. You have to go hunt. It don't count if you already talked to her. That's not hunting. You got to get that dog, get that wolf, and go hunt. So I'm like, all right, I'm not going to pursue or talk to any of my exes or girls I used to talk to. So she called me, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm like, I don't even care. I'm like, I don't care at this point. I'm like, I just need for my body to reset and just feel better. I don't have to actually think about my bike anymore. I think she paid for the Uber to come to her house, and I went over there. I was in the car, and I was just thinking about it too. I remember being in an Uber driving down White Plains Road, and it made that right turn on Gun Hill Road, and just looking out the window, and I'm just thinking like the same thing I think now is like, I don't even really care. Like, I don't care. Like, I remember thinking like, whatever happens. It's like, I remember feeling like that. So like I said, this is kind of similar to that. So because I've seen this story so many times, I'm not surprised by it anymore. It's just something that happens. But I don't know that it's a air of arrogance that I have because I've experienced it before. But I also understand that just because I've experienced it one way before does not mean it's going to be that same way again in the future. But history has shown to repeat itself, and that's what usually tends to happen. So as I said before in this podcast, way back when the whole Uber thing happened, right before something good happens to me, where things go really great, things go really bad. It's like the yin and yang. So depending on how bad things are will dictate how great things are going to be. Oh, I should leave on that, but I'm not, because I got more fire for you guys. I'm going to just make that a clip or some shit. That was a bar. So that's where I'm at with that. It was something else. It was Gotham. We've been chilling in bed, just relaxing, eating bad food, just relax, just calm, just being like regular people, really. Listen, I know why y'all do it. I understand. I know why y'all just chill out and don't do nothing. I get it. But that's not fun for me. I want to like do that same thing, but like in a big house though, like in a bigger house with dogs and like kids and stuff. I don't want to do that here. I'm gonna do it like over there.
And kids?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know about you having kids, because I don't know. I'll adopt some kids for myself, because obviously Melissa, she gonna get kids and then be like, she gonna hide in a closet and shit. We don't need that. So what else has been going on in my life? I'm just curious about the Joe Rogan thing. This is something I watched on the podcast recently. And he had Miley Cyrus on, then he had Mike Tyson on, and he just switched to Spotify. So he's on there now, and he won't be exclusive until the end of the year. But I want to see who his next guest is, because I think it's interesting that his first two guests that were on for Spotify, they weren't recorded during this time period. They were pre-recorded from last week before he was actually put on Spotify. But the first two that go on Spotify is Miley Cyrus and Mike Tyson. So I'm like, is Joe Rogan going to be the person that just interviews a bunch of celebrities and that come on and all the big name hitters? Because Joe Rogan wasn't built, that wasn't his thing. When he would have somebody on that everybody knew, it was cool. But it was his podcast was like, yo, there's a hunter that lived in Africa, who was out there with no shirt on and no clothes, and he was hunting that not even, no, there was a guy who was not a hunter who was hunting in Africa, and it was crazy. The stories you hear. There was there's a guy. Oh my God, Daryl Davis, I think his name was. Black guy, traveled around, gave people out of the Ku Klux Klan. It's the stories the people that have on there are like, they're superheroes. You know what they would be? The people that Joe Rogan has on his podcast are what we expect celebrities to actually be like. People that actually go out and do things that are amazing. But then you have people on there like Miley Cyrus, and then like Kevin Hart, and then like Joe Rogan, and not Joe Rogan, Mike Tyson, where it's like, yeah, you guys did like cool things, but like, what are you guys doing now? I don't feel like they're doing things like amazing things, and they aren't people. They're famous. They're celebrity. They're in that type of that bubble of celebrityness. Like I said, I want to hear about the guy that just so happened to do amazing things by himself nobody knows about. That's cool to me because it's more realistic. He doesn't have to appeal to anybody. He just tells his story, and I want to hear those kind of things on Joe Rogan. So I'm curious to see what's going to happen over the next couple of weeks, because also this was, and I want to, if I want to know who is going to bring this up to him. Somebody should bring it up. I hope somebody brings it up, because if they don't bring it up, that just goes to show me even more that he probably has told people don't talk about this. But he has a bunch of episodes that people would deem controversial, removed from the podcast on Spotify. A lot of people, I think, are like right-wing people, people who are, he has somebody who was anti-transgender, where they felt like, and they were a doctor, or they were a scientist. They were in the field of people who are transgender, and they were like, this, you shouldn't transition at young ages. That's not on there. So anything that I feel like Spotify deemed would be a problem for them, they told me to remove it. Now, the fact that he would capitulate to do that makes me feel uncomfortable, because I don't think that his platform is great because he has episodes removed. He has everybody on there who he wants to have on, and they talk about anything. So I think the fact that they removed those episodes is going to make the podcast not as great as it was before. So I'm curious to see if anybody brings it up. I want to hear when he does finally respond to that. It's going to be all over everything on YouTube. Joe Rogan says he removes podcast episodes because this, that, and the third. And he has friends that he has who are on there with him who he removed their episodes too. So I'm just like, Joey Diaz. I think he had some guy named Brian Callahan who he's friends with. It's just crazy. It's crazy. But, maybe he sold out. Who knows? He said he wouldn't, but, why would we believe a person for what? Yeah, because he's a celebrity and we know who he is. That's why we believe him. We'll see. What else has been going on in my life? I think that's really it. Gonna get the property soon. Not soon. I'm gonna start hopefully working, getting back to getting money. I feel like there's something else I remember. Can you scroll up and down and see what else is on there? Can you go to the bottom? No, I'm trying to think what else is going on in my life. I said another family member who dating somebody. Next week I'll have a guest on the podcast.
Oh, really?
Yes, there will be a guest on the podcast. I'm not telling you.
Why can't I know?
Because it's one of my ex-girlfriends, and I think that would be a problem if you knew who it was. So I'm not gonna tell you who it is.
What did you just say?
Nothing. Don't worry about it.
Are you dead ass?
It's none of your business.
What do you mean none of my business?
I mean,
these two. You want to bring some ex-girlfriend to the house?
Zero business. Listen, you had your ex on here. Okay then.
No,
right,
we
then.
did not.
Was he not talking on here?
I did not have no ex on here.
Your entanglement. You're right.
I had an ex.
Okay, an entanglement.
Are you serious?
None of your business. You be all up in my business. Mind your business.
I am the producer of this podcast, so it's my business too.
Well, then you could produce the podcast when she gets here. Producer. So we have an episode coming up next week with a guest, which would be very fun. What else? I think there's something else too. I don't remember. But like I said, that was this week's episode of the Bamboo Project Podcast. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Donovan Gray, DONIVANGRAY. You can find my beautiful annoyed girlfriend sitting on the couch at Anita Burn, ANETABURN. And you know how it goes at the end of the podcast. Bamboo Project out.
So who is this?
Mind your business. I hope the thing didn't stop. I'll be tight. Okay, still going. Why are you in my business?
It's my business too.
Oh
It's
my
my
God!
house
You see
too.
how annoying she is for no reason. Listen. This is
You said girlfriend. You said ex-girlfriend. I
this
just wanna know if it's true.
is the
I just wanna know if it's
reason
true.
why I be saying
just wanna know
Melissa
if it's
be
true.
acting like a child. Why? See, now you got Kitty all riled up. She
I
was
just
sitting
want to
in the
know
she was
if
sitting over
it's
there,
true.
and now look at
You
her.
can say yes or no. Is
What's-
it true?
Why is it your business?
Because I am the producer of the podcast, therefore it's my business.
And if it is true,
Which is my business.
but if it is true,
Yes.
what does that mean?
So is it true?
But if it is, what does that mean?
It's not true.
What if it's not true? What does it mean?
Is it true?
Why does it matter?
Because why would you not tell me?
For what?
Maybe for what?
Why does it matter? I just told you right now. I just told you right now.
Because like, how did
I gave you a week advance.
No. You don't just blow that in my face on the podcast talking about you. Tell me a week in advance. How did that conversation even come up? Did they ask you to be on the podcast? Was y'all having a conversation and then taking? Donovan been going to the bathroom at like 3:00 in the morning and
Lord.
staying over there for hours.